Hello and welcome to your taper week workout. You put in all the work. The hay is in the barn. Now we're going to do some body weight core exercises and some mobility focus to get us in tip-top shape for race day, but also to keep our muscles nice and activated. All right, we are going to start with a little bit of a warm-up. So let's go down into some inchworm walkouts. So we'll walk out, walk back in. You want to keep your heels down, knees relatively straight so you can feel a stretch in your hamstring and your calf muscles. I'll do 5 of these. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, very good. Oh, we always like a nice little hip flexor stretch with rotation. So we're going to tuck our tailbone in just for an active tilt on our pelvis there. And then we will rotate back and forth, slide your arm across the wall, contact with the wall with your hand. You should feel a nice shoulder blade stretch. Breathe into any tightness along your rib cage. Okay, and we'll switch sides. Got little eyes watching me over there. It's okay. They learn through example. That's why we're doing this, right? We're being good examples of health. Okay, very good. Let's go into some body weight squats next. So we'll go for depth with these so it feels like a nice stretch into your hips at the bottom. Again, go with your preferred pattern of squat. We can use today's exercise as an evaluative tool so we can kind of screen our body before race day, see if there's anything else that we need to put a little extra work into. Okay, good. Take a break, shake it out. Okay, let's do another 10 of those. Okay, good. Let's get our calf muscles going. We're going to face the wall for just a little bit of fingertip balance support. You can go double leg calf raise, just loosening up our muscles. Try to spread your toes on this one and focus on going up on your big toe. If you want, you can stagger that, just to put more bias on the back foot. Good. Switch sides if you staggered, or do your second set if you're still doing double leg. Very good. Let's put our back on the wall. We're going to get the front of our shins going. So try not to rock your body. Just lift up your toes and your foot towards your shin. When you come down, you don't want to fall down. You want to come down with control. Hopefully you have practiced your fueling for race day during your longer runs or workout efforts. You are thinking about what your stomach will be happy with to carb load or prep your body the week of the race. You're thinking about what you have gear-wise for race day, what you practiced in your shoes, you practiced in your outfit to make sure that everything's comfortable. You've practiced your hydration method, making sure that your stomach is okay with that. If you haven't done that, you still have a little bit of time. Okay, let's get our posterior chain firing again. So we're going to do some balance reaches. We're going to keep a relatively straight leg in the back, come up, strike that run pose, reach down, come up, run pose. We are going to do 10 on each side. It is normal for your body to start to feel funky during the taper. That's because our body is going through this rapid growth period where we're using inflammation, good type of inflammation, to repair all of the damaged muscle that we broke down during our building phase of our training period. So if you feel bloated or tired or heavy legs, that's okay. Don't freak out. That means you did a lot of hard work building up towards this taper, and that you need to give your body grace and start fueling it with what it needs for race day. If you feel like, oh gosh, I'm not running as much, I'm not working out as much, so I feel like I'm gaining weight, get those thoughts out of your head. Start eating. Eating so that your body can use that fuel to repair your muscles and get ready for your race. Okay, let's go in the frontal plane of motion. So we're going to move laterally to get our adductor muscles a good stretch. So we'll go into a side lunge. Do 10 on each side there. Ooh. Sit back into our lunge. So you're aiming your bottom towards that wall. Shake that out. Let's do another 10 of our balance reaches down. Reach down, run pose, 10 on each side again. If you feel like you need a massage or something like that to prep for your race, just try to do that a little bit further out from race day, because that can release a lot of fluid into your body as well, or kind of make you feel run down. So you don't want to be getting that like a day or two before the race. Sleep is not going to happen the night before the race. So in these taper weeks leading up to the race, focus on your sleep. Take naps if you need it. Don't try to race around and get a million things caught up in your life before the race. Been there, done that. It wears you out for race day. One year I did the Glass City Marathon and decided to clean the whole entire house the day before, vacuum 3 floors, and back pain got the best of me on race day. Okay, 10 more lateral lunges on each side. In these spring races, we want to be prepared for anything. Fall races too. So start thinking about rain gear. If you haven't already, what would you do if it was raining? What would you shed at the start line if it was raining? Start thinking about preparing for heat. Really get those electrolytes and your hydration going early. It can't happen the night before. It needs to be consistent hydration. Okay. All right. Let's take a little break from working our legs here. Grab a little ball to roll out your feet if you have one of those. Okay, we'll take this moment to do a little mobility work. Roll out the bottom of your feet. This is one that I always assign to my athletes the day before the race or the morning of the long run, because our fascia on the bottom of our feet just harbors so much tension. It can lead to tension up the chain in our body. It is the first thing that hits the ground and tells the rest of our body what to do when we land. So we want our feet in tip-top shape. Make sure you're prepping your feet for race day. Trim down your toenails, but not the night before in case you cut them too short. Give your feet a little bit of love on calluses. And what else? I body glide my feet on race day. Your little blisters, if any, are telling you something. So try and work out those little issues before the race. Okay, let's switch to our other side. So when I roll up my feet, I put quite a bit of pressure through there. It shouldn't feel like you're just like tickling the skin or being gentle with it. There's 4 layers of muscles on the bottom of our foot. So we want to activate all those little muscles. If you feel one spot in particular that is shooting, it's a good trigger point. You can hold and release on that. So pretty much you hold that intense sensation until you feel the pain decrease. Sometimes you can pin and stretch for that if tolerated. So how I would pin and stretch is I would hold that point and then lift up my toes. Hold that point, lift up your toes. It is pretty intense, but it feels better activation wise when you're running. Apparently the wind outside is leading to some flickering lights right now. Gotta love spring. Okay, let's put that ball, if you have a lacrosse ball or an intense spiky ball like this, let's put that ball into our glute area. Same thing, you're gonna search for that spot. You'll know it when you feel it. Okay, so with this one, if you get a spot that is particularly tight, I like to pin and stretch this one as well. So you can move your leg in and out on that spot, or you can just hold and release it. A typical muscle release takes about a minute 30. So you just don't want to do a quick like 30-second roll. If you want to be effective with some of the soft tissue work that you're doing in that area, you're going to want to hold and release a little bit longer. So if you find those spots, I'm just educating you on the form of that. You can spend all your extra time that you're not running into working out some of those little kinks before race day. We harbor a lot of that stress of the fear of the race and life leading up to the race, and just those negative thoughts that start trickling in closer to race day. We harbor a lot of that tension in our glute muscles, especially all the muscles that go into our tailbone area. So you want to give a little love to that area before the race. If you have one side anywhere along your leg that has been bothering you, just through my years of practice, always treat the other side, because there's so many times where a runner says, well, the side I've been working on felt great during race day, but my other side, and that could be because we might subconsciously not want to load the side that we're worried about, so we start to use the other side more, or we've been doing just so much focus on a painful side that we didn't do any work on our other side. So always do both sides when you get closer to race day. All right, we're gonna take a break from our ball. You can use the ball obviously anywhere else. You can lay on it on your hip flexors. You can get any spots along your quad, your calf muscles. Good spots to spend some time there too. For time reasons today though, I'm just going to generally educate you on how to do some of those muscle releases and focus on that, like I said, on other days. Okay, let's get into our hips a little bit more. So we're gonna go into a child's pose. Go a little wide with this one, so more like a Frogger position, so we can get some of those tailbone muscles. A good active stretch since we just released them with the ball. You can pause and take deep breaths into anywhere that feels tight, especially in that tailbone region. Okay, let's work the hip a little bit more. You're going to find a wall. Put your back, head, butt, and heel against the wall. You don't want to be cranked up into a side position, so rest everything level. Put your heel in contact with the wall, and you're going to drag the heel, create some friction against the wall, and slowly come back down. You don't want to be moving through your trunk too much like that, like a tilt up. So we're only going to go as high as we can before this area where under my hand starts to move. So keep your hand on your trunk there and just raise that slowly up and down. You should feel this right here in the glute med. If you feel a little bit too much sensation in the hip flexor area, you can turn your toes down towards the floor. Okay, let's switch sides. Another cue I like to think of during this is reaching the leg towards the wall away from you before you keep contact. That keeps your trunk nice and elongated, and then you should feel that in the side of your hip more. As we've learned in, had to check my mic there. As we have learned in other exercise videos, our glute med is a very important muscle for stabilizing our pelvis. It will help us with that moment of collapse that often happens as we fatigue while running. Good. Let's switch sides. Another 10. So you've noticed we have dropped all weights. If you feel like doing some of the resistance band work that we have done in the past, that stuff is still good. Keeps your muscles awake in these weeks prior to race day. We can start talking about after your race, recovery, since I won't always be a part of that. If you've been doing just a strength session, it takes our body at least 4 weeks to totally recover from a marathon. And I'm not just talking muscle breakdown, I am talking organs. So ideally, we are giving ourselves grace in recovering from our marathon effort for 4 weeks. Unless this marathon is simply a training run for some other big race and you are experienced with that mileage. So say you're using a marathon to build for a 50 miler that is also building for a 100 miler. I know there are some of you like that out there. But if this marathon is your peak race for the year, you will want to work on recovery up to a month. Now that can be active recovery. Recovery means very minimal 2 to 3 efforts, not a 90-mile bike ride just because it's not running. So after that is when you can start to focus on building strength, like getting into the heavier weights again prior to your next race build session. In an ideal world, we take a break from running multiple times per year just to help our body recover all of our tissue. All right, you guys did a great job today. We're gonna fire our core muscles real quick and then end with a nice active stretch. Okay, let's do some simple core muscles, getting our asymmetrical balance ready for race day. Create a tabletop on your lower back. You're elongating the opposite arm and leg. We are doing a bird dog exercise. Don't hang your head like I was. Keep it in line with the rest of your spine. You're trying not to twist or overly tilt. Hips and knees are hip width apart. Good. Let's go on to our back. We're going to dead bug. Same thing, opposite arms and leg. Extending. Thank you, Parker, for that cough. Old dogs. Okay, let's flip over. We will go back into our bird dog. Don't ask me who named these. Okay, on our back, another set of dead bugs. We're lifting with our rib cage, not from our neck. The neck just goes along for the ride. All right, let's take this same position right into our stretching. Give your knees a good hug. Breathe into areas of your lower back and let your ribs expand in your lower back. Breathe into your tailbone and your pelvic floor area. Try not to breathe into your upper shoulders while we're in this position. Let's do that same breathing. If you can, either grab your shins, or if you can, for a deeper stretch, grab your feet. You can put a little pressure of your elbows into your knees to get that inner thigh stretch. Same thing, let's breathe into our tailbones, pelvic floor, and lower back. Okay, grab the back of your leg, extend your other leg onto the floor. We're going to do flex your ankle up towards your shin. We're going to do an active sciatic nerve glide. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Again, this is a nice time to see if there is a big left-right difference and focus on working out those things prior to race day. Okay, we're gonna thread the needle, so bring your butt down towards your heels. Lay your opposite arm through. Stretch both arms to their end range. Breathe into any tightness that you feel here. We do not want our breathing muscles to cramp up on us during the race. That is the absolute worst. If that happens, though, you would breathe your breath right into these areas that we're working now. Try to breathe into your lower back when you get those side stitches on race day. Breathe into your tailbone areas. Try to refrain from gasping for air or hyperventilating or up through your upper shoulders. You want to shake out your arms in those situations. Lower your shoulders down and breathe into our lower breathing muscles. You can also work on the rhythm of your breathing with your strides to try to get a different breath pattern going. So just a old coaching technique. Back in my high school days, they would say breathe in for 2, out for 3, and then that would alternate your breath with your stride. Let's go down into cat camel. Tilt the tailbone towards your ceiling, lift up, and then arch and tuck. Okay, if you feel like you need more mobility work, feel free to do whatever else you have been doing. Reach out if you have any last minute questions. I will be happy to help you with any of those. I hope you all have excellent taper time. Apologize to your families if you're grumpy. That is all part of the process. That it's normal. Do some of this mobility work to breathe and just calm your body down before the race. I hope the weather is in all of our favor in these coming weeks, but keep working on your list of what you need for race day, and good luck to you all.